Hey, Keisha, welcome to Pink Shade or Pink Shade Prime, depending on where you're listening. This is Love is Blind, episode 7. Silence speaks volumes.
Shit is getting real.
Shit is
on the
getting
show.
real. All right, Keisha, I was just listening in the car to our recap of episode 1 because it was on the free feed. And so I was listening to the free feed in my car. And I was like, you know what? It's pretty good. Keisha and I are pretty good at Love is Blind. We don't have to just talk about prisoners.
We don't. We have expanded our relationship to where we can talk about other things. That's what happens when you do couples therapy. You learn new things about one another. You know what I mean?
Right.
So,
That's right.
Look at us now. Look at us now.
I just think that I loved so much listening to that episode 1 recap because you were so new to it and now you're so in it that you're like now you're like an old pro. But episode 1, it was brand new to you, but not now. Now you're a pro.
And things are still new because I'm like, oh, I didn't know they were going to do that. Oh, this is what they do next. So it's still like surprises that are coming to me. But I tell you a huge surprise.
Yes.
That damn Chelsea is on every single blog today.
Oh,
she
really?
even made it onto TMZ.
Oh, wow. Okay.
All because of her saying she looks like Megan Fox.
Never said
there's
it.
so many TikToks. Yes, I'm like, she's everywhere today. Like, she's all over my Instagram feed, all over.
She's trying to get ahead of it to be like, I know I said it. Look stupid. I'm sorry. Is that what's happening?
No, people, now it's a debate. Like, they're debating. Does she or does she not? There's people saying, well, I found this picture of her and I found this very, 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 very old picture of Megan Fox and maybe they look alike. So it's just like a debate.
Okay. I mean, okay. No, there's no debate. She doesn't look like Megan Fox, but I did say I could understand because she's kind of got like pointy eyebrows and sort of extreme features. So
yes, I will give her that.
Maybe somebody drunk on Frontier Airlines is like, you look like Megan Fox. Why does it look like Megan Fox? And she took that ran with it.
Had to be half blind with very dark sunglasses on. And, you know.
Oh, my God. There is an episode at some point coming up where she says to her friends, like, oh, and he like made fun of me because I said I look like, who's the celebrity that I always get told I look like? And they're like, they named like 4 people. And she's like, no, Megan Fox. They're like, oh, yeah, Megan Fox.
So that even makes it worse.
I think it's in episode 8. I think it's an episode, maybe episode 9, but her friends come over. I'm trying to remember. But anyway, she tries to prompt them to be like, remember who people always say I look alike? Remember? And they're all like, who? And they name 4 or 5 other people. And then she's like, no, Megan Fox. They're like, oh, yeah.
They're like, oh, shit, she did send that text telling us to say Megan Fox. We just all forgot about it.
Because she doesn't look like Megan Fox.
You know, she's angry at us.
Again, I don't want to shame anybody's looks, but if you compare yourself to, you know, arguably one of the best looking people in the world,
she's
Megan
very
Fox
pretty.
is
just and we're not
gorgeous.
saying Chelsea's not pretty.
She's gorgeous, but a different nobody's Megan Fox.
No, that's like someone being Beyonce or, you know, Angelina Jolie.
Yes.
You don't. That just doesn't happen every day, you know.
Yeah, you know, producer Ingrid looks like Angelina Jolie, and she has been told that a lot. I have been witness to it, and there was a picture when Angelina and Brad first had those twins or whatever, and it was on the cover of some magazine, and she's in like a white nightgown, and he's like in a white shirt, leaning over on top of her while she's holding the babies. You know, it's very like curated photo shoot.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
In the picture, in that particular picture, Angelina Jolie looks so much like Ingrid that really it could have been a picture of Ingrid.
Really?
Yeah, like that particular photo shoot.
Okay, I'm gonna go look it up.
And I was like, wow, Ingrid. So no, we can no longer go out in public together anymore because this is embarrassing because you're so pretty and I'm the fat ugly friend. It's not cute for me. But Ingrid does and has always looked like Angelina Jolie. Now, I don't I think if somebody ever asked her in a pod situation, I can't speak for her, but if she could say, oh my God, well, 10 years ago, people said I look like Angelina Jolie. She might say that. But I don't think she would say, people think I look like Angelina Jolie right now.
Got you.
Even though she still does, I got to be honest.
Right.
Ingrid has no tattoos, but
we don't look like celebrities, so we couldn't say we look like anyone.
I don't look like anybody. I don't look like anybody.
Anyone either. And God forbid, please don't start.
No, God, no.
Telling us we look like different celebrities. Just don't do it. Leave us alone.
No, please don't tell us. I don't want to know who you think I might look like.
I don't want to know either.
Because it probably is not a compliment.
And I'm thinking, no, never mind. Keep it to yourself. I don't want to fuck up my week. I don't want to fuck up my therapy for the week. Let us be.
Oh my God. Well, I have watched 7, 8, and 9 to prepare for these episodes. And as you guys know, if you're listening here on the free feed, all the episodes all the way through 9 are currently over on Pink Shade Prime. And as they come out, we will have all 3 episodes out the same day. So 7, 8, 9 are coming out together, and then 10, 11, 12 will come out together. And then whatever they're going to do for the reunion or whatever, we will do that as well.
So we're covering the reunion too.
Oh, yeah, girl.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know.
Yes. Yes. All right. I have to tell you, I listened to a super interesting podcast. Now, you'll have to look it up because I can't remember the name of it, but it's this guy named Nick Sullivan. He was on the 2nd season of Love is Blind. He married a girl named Danielle. So even if you look up Nick and Danielle, he has started a foundation called it's like Unscripted Content Association of something, whatever. It's basically, he's trying to unionize people that are in unscripted content, whether they're behind the scenes or the people on it, because they don't get paid very well, and then it could totally ruin your life. And they threaten to sue you if you do any spoilers, whatever. So he was on this podcast that's about MLMs, like multi-level marketing, being a cult kind of a thing. So he's on with somebody in the Monkey Face group, sent it, and I went and listened to it immediately. It's really interesting. So he does say that it's shot in New York. So sorry, LA. Scratch that. LA. They shoot it. So the whole set, all of that, all is in LA. So if you're a contestant on the show, you fly to LA and you're there the entire 10 days. So even if you do proposal or whatever on day 3, you don't ever speak to that person again. Like you don't go back in the pod to keep talking after you're engaged. So once you get engaged and see each other for 25 minutes, you don't see each other again for 4 or 5 days.
Until you go to whatever country.
Yes. And then when you get to the country, like on his season, it was kind of COVID times. When they got to Mexico, they had to be everybody in separate hotel rooms by themselves for like 2 days, probably to quarantine, before they were allowed to go to the resort. And then they were allowed to, because then there was like a COVID outbreak. So they were allowed to see their engaged person for like a day or 2 at the hotel before they went to the resort.
So did he say whether or not in between the 10 days and then when they go to whatever country, are they able to go home? Like, can the girls go get their nails done, salon, or anything like that?
He didn't say anything like that. He said that while they're in LA, they are just shuttled back and forth to the set, to the hotel.
Okay.
I'm so sorry. And that they're there for 18 hours a day.
Damn.
I know. Talk for 1 second because I got a cough.
Okay. So one of the things that I've been wondering about, because someone mentioned that, I don't know, maybe someone sent you a DM and they stated that if you look at previous seasons, whenever they're getting up in the morning or whatever, they're always like laying on the couch. Like, so perhaps they don't live actually there. So do they really live in a hotel and they come back there every day?
Yeah. And they're there for like 18 to 20 hours. So the reason you see them sleeping on the couches is because they're so tired.
Yeah.
And also he said that at the beginning they do speed dating. So all 15 people see all 15 people for like 7 minutes. And then you have like, they encourage you to make like a chart or an algorithm or something in your book. So you know who you're interested in talking to again.
So do they see each other or do they talk to each other for those 7 minutes?
If I said see, that Love is Blind, I didn't mean that.
Okay,
They
okay,
talk
okay,
to each other.
okay,
They do
okay,
speed
okay,
dating. Um,
okay.
and that's how they do it initially. And he also said that if that you sign a contract that if
Mhm.
you are one of the couples that are chosen or whatever, and you make it all that you are contractually obligated to make it all the way to the altar, that you can't cancel the wedding like the day before or whatever. Like you have to go to the altar to say yes or no
Oh, man. So if someone has cold feet, they still have to go all the way to the altar and
and
then
say
say
it.
no.
And then they also,
Oh.
if they get married, it's in their contract
Mm.
for how long they have to stay married before they're allowed to get divorced.
What?
It's like X amount of time from the last when the last episode airs.
Okay, but why?
I don't know. And he also said that the whoever is the officiant signs the wedding certificate and they no,
Mhm,
they sign the wedding certificate before the wedding, each person, and the
mhm.
officiant doesn't sign it. So they don't know at the altar, I do or I don't or whatever. So after they say if the officiant signs it, then it's official. And if not, they just rip it up.
Oh my god.
Isn't that
That's a
interesting?
lot.
Hmm.
That is a
Yeah.
lot. That's, like, kinda traumatizing in a way.
So much of it is traumatizing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah, I was, telling my friend that we were covering it, and she's never watched it,
Yeah.
and I was like, "You have got to watch this show." Because I kinda briefly described it, like, real short,
It sounds
and I don't think
crazy.
she got it. And I
Yeah.
said, "No, wait, this is what really happened." She's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah." I said, "But it's also really funny."
Yeah.
And I said, "And there's lots of drama."
Hmm.
You'll just keep watching each episode. So I'm gonna see if she's gonna join in.
Okay.
Join the club.
Joined the club. I was just telling my friend that I had lunch with. Same thing. So I went to lunch with my friend today, Emily. So Emily is my friend who has the same problem that Sutton has with her esophagus. And
What problem is that?
okay, so if you've not been watching Beverly Hills this season,
I've never watched an episode of Beverly Hills ever in
oh,
life.
it's so good, Keisha. So, but you know who Sutton is, right? The little
Yes,
skinny blonde
absolutely.
Southern
Yes.
lady. Well, so
The
she has a
name them.
name them.
Name
So
them.
Sutton has she brought up something about Kyle, and then Kyle kind of came back at her and was like, "Okay, well, so are we not going to talk about how like you don't eat, you push your food around your plate?" So,
Ooh,
and the
they all
Sutton's
do
like,
that.
"Yeah," the Sutton's like, I have a problem with my esophagus." Then it becomes a whole storyline where this other woman, Anne Marie, is a nurse anesthetist, and she decides like now she's a medical expert and was like, what Sutton is saying is like not true. Maybe she's trying to hide an eating disorder or whatever. She's just like weighing in on this. She has no idea, which is,
Right.
and Sutton's like, are you my doctor? Like, what are we talking about? But when they're talking about the narrow esophagus, my friend Emily
Mm.
has this problem and has had to go and get her esophagus stretched, and she can't drink anything cold. Like, she has this problem. So I was telling her at lunch, I go, I mentioned you on the podcast because
Mm.
we're talking about your esophagus. She was like, "Who knew that would be my
Famous.
end?" My esophagus being narrow. Yes.
Are you born like that or does it just happen?
I don't know. She definitely didn't always have it, but,
Okay.
it happened to her when she got older that she could remember, like, drinking cold water and then, like, it projectiling out of her mouth. Like her esophagus rejected it. And she would sometimes eat and feel like she was choking just, like, for no reason, and so she went and it turned out she had a narrowing of the esophagus, and sometimes, like, a cold beverage will do it, or if you, eat something in particular and it just doesn't go down. It's, you've all had that where you eat something and you're like, "It didn't go down right," but for her, it was,
Yeah.
like, everything she ate.
That
So she
that,
did
like,
have.
makes me feel like I can't breathe, and I have to, like
I
I'm
know.
telling myself in my brain, "You can breathe.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with yours. Breathe. You can take it." Reminds me a lot when I had the lap band.
Okay. Because it
It
would make you feel
would
like,
like cold water, it would just come right back up, or if you ate something,
"Mm,
it would come right back up. It's just like everything was so super, super tight, it just would come right back up.
oh, that's interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting."
Yeah.
Well, yeah, so
Because
I
you
told
know I've
him.
had 55 weight loss surgeries,
No,
so
you haven't had 50. You've had 2?
2.
Okay.
Yes. I've had
Well,
2.
you look great. So that's all that matters.
Thank you. I
It's not
know,
all that
and
matters.
if I had to take another one, I'm like, "Whatever you gotta do, do it.
You don't
Yes. Yes,
no,
take it."
no, you
Yeah.
don't need to do that.
No, I'm not encouraging all of that, no. But the lap band had to go.
So
Worst mistake of my life.
you took it out.
Yes, it was one you know how people will say, "I married that person, that was the worst decision of my life?" getting the lap band has to be one of the top 3 worst decisions in my entire life. It was that bad.
But was that the first or the second weight loss surgery?
That was the first.
Okay, so you had it taken out. So then what did
I
you have
had
after that?
to. The sleeve.
Okay. And so you still
Yeah.
have that because you don't take that out.
No, you can't take that out. It's like surgically part of your stomach was taken out and made
Wow.
smaller and all that. But the lap band, oh, fuck that shit. Oh, God. I don't even think they make it anymore. I'm like, they shouldn't. It was horrible. Can I get my money back? Like, it was bad.
Okay, well, I'm
Real
glad
bad.
you're okay now because all those surgeries are kind of scary. I'm
I
glad you're
know.
okay.
Me
You're
too.
thriving. In the words
Some
of
days.
Paris Hilton, you're sliving. Okay.
Is that Slay and Living?
I think it's like slay and living. Yes,
Slay.
living.
Okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
She's got it like in neon, like in her foyer.
Of
Um,
course.
of course she does. Hot pink. So, okay, let's get into this episode. This is episode 7. Silence speaks volumes. And who are we talking about when we say this? I can't even remember at this point.
Silence
I guess we'll
speaks.
find out as we go.
It has to be Laura and Jeramy because he iced her out the night before.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And wouldn't
All
talk
right.
to her.
You're right. So we opened this where we left episode 6, which is like, so remember Chelsea had been balling Jimmy out. She had let him
Yeah.
have it.
Yes.
Real weird. And then she would be like, I love you. But I'm so you hurt my I need you to hear me, but I love you.
It's very super creepy.
And he's like, I don't feel like I know what's happening here.
He
So
didn't.
he still doesn't. So we open with Chelsea and Jimmy. She's staring at him like a full serial killer. And
Yeah.
he's apologizing. I cannot tell if this is the same night or the next morning. Because
I
he
think it's
does
the
say,
next morning.
well, the only because he says I just put sunscreen on, but I think he says that
Oh, it's at nighttime.
because he like I meant to put on lotion, I accidentally put on sunscreen.
Yes. Yeah. All of a sudden he went on this trip and he's all about skincare. Because remember, like the first time he's like, do you have any lotion? Like, I never put lotion on, but I don't know, maybe going to the DR just makes you say, I want to take better care of my skin because all the people here are beautiful and
It
I
could
want to
be.
be beautiful. And plus he needs a little lotion.
He's a little dry.
He's a little dry.
He's a little dry. Hey, it's me again here to tell you about Quince. That is my favorite place to shop online. I just went before I came to talk to you guys about what are the latest things I ordered. Okay, here's the latest thing I ordered that I love. They are 100% washable silk skinny scrunchies. Try to say that 3 times fast. But they're these silk scrunchies that you can, wear all the time, but when you sleep in them, they don't bend or damage your hair. They're wonderful. I also bought my husband for his birthday these flow knit performance pants, which he loves, and he asked me to buy him 2 more pair, which I did. They came today. Then they were so soft that I went and bought myself some flow knit mid-rise joggers. I got blue, I got gray, and I got black, and I'm wearing them right now. They are so comfy and so cute. I also got my husband then a workout shirt. You guys, I'm buying from them every week now, and I think that I'm going to get a restraining order put against me from Quince because I'm obsessed. Then they just did a drop this week with new bathing suits, and I'm like, uh-oh, now I need a bathing suit. So guys, don't forget they also have the cashmere, they have the travel stuff, they have great home stuff, they even have cute baby stuff. And then I noticed this week, maternity stuff. You guys, what can't Quince do? Give yourself the luxury you deserve with Quince. Go to quince.com/pinkshade for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's right. If you don't like it and it's day 300, just return it. It's so easy. I've had to return one thing and the website made it so easy. So you're going to go to quince.com/pinkshade, QUINCE.com/pinkshade to get free shipping and 365-day returns, quince.com/pinkshade, and please let me know what you got. So but she does still look kind of drunk. So that's why I think it's still at night because she does seem a little cross-eyed.
She always looks like that to me.
She seems a little out of it. And she goes, I just need you to hear me and validate me when I'm sad. I love you. I love you with all my heart. He's like, I love you with all my heart too. Okay. So
he's like, hey, someone, if I had a cell phone right now, I would call in a rescue mission to get me out of this situation.
No cell phone.
With this crazy ass woman.
So now we see Brittany and Ken talk. And they're like, "Yeah,
Mhm.
Amy and Johnny seem solid." And, Kenneth goes, "Yeah, Jimmy said he and Chelsea are perfect." And she goes, "Huh, interesting,
'Cause I didn't
interesting."
pick up on those vibes
Yeah,
at
but
all.
okay. And then Kenneth talks to Brittany about what AD said about she
Mhm.
will be raising Black children,
Right.
and Brittany goes, "You listen, I appreciate her saying that, as long as it's coming from a good place. I hope AD was intentful," which is not a word. Not a word. Not a word, Brittany. Um, she
But she
hopes
used
that
to be a school teacher.
oh, that's right. She
Yeah.
hopes AD was intentful, because she, doesn't mind that she said that. And Brittany says she's always been aware of the race issue. So this is when the first time I realized that she has dated Black guys in the past. I never knew that about her
I
until
think
just
she
now.
mentioned it when they were in the pods.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
and then she says, "I do identify as a white woman." Girl,
Girl, stop.
stop saying that.
Stop. Next time you say that, please say, like, on the weekends, I identify as a kangaroo. Something different. Stop identifying as what the people actually fucking are. We can see it. We know. Like, stop. I can't take it. I cannot stand for her to say this one more time. I just
So
can't.
let's call back. It's a callback to another episode where she says she knows that Kenneth identifies as a Black man. I was like, because he is a
Yes,
Black
he is.
man.
Like, it legit says that on his birth certificate.
And
And
she's like, "So,
everything else.
I know I identify as a white woman." And then Kenneth says, "What AD said did truly cause me some concern. We are
Mhm,
going to face a lot of opinions. And, for
mhm.
example, like my Black girlfriends are going to want to discuss this. Like, what are you doing?" And,
Right,
he's like, "All my people will love you because you're a bomb person, but they're
right.
going to want to make sure I'm good and everything's good with me." And she goes, "Well, what identifies good to you?"
I don't know, you tell us how it identifies. You're the identifier.
Great point. Great. And he goes, like, "I know you've dated Black men, so you've dealt with this before, but I have
Mhm,
to see how you act in the world." And she goes, "Okay. So for you, actions need to line up with the words, but that's good because
mhm.
I'm good at that." And he goes, "Okay." And then they do a super romantic knuckle bump.
Yeah, there's 0 chemistry between these 2 people. I think
Yeah.
unless they're talking about the Bible, there's nothing else that they have in common, and I also think that
I feel like there's
she
no
was
chemistry from him to her.
it
I think
it's
she's kind of
really
into him, but I don't feel like he's
I
into
don't
her.
think he's into her at all,
I don't
and
either.
I don't know if that happened once he saw her because she's a good-looking girl,
Yeah.
but I just think they don't have anything in common, and I also think whilst they were talking about AD, in Brittany's mind, she's like, "I don't know why that big booty bitch was even talking to you."
She did not think, "I don't know why that big booty bitch is talking to you."
I
She
think
did
she
not
thought that
think
in her
that.
head. I think she was thinking that. I think she was slightly until he told her otherwise, was like, "Was AD talking badly about me in this
Yeah.
situation?" Or you could kinda tell by the look on her face that she was
Well,
like,
she wanted to
"Okay."
make sure she was intentful. Yeah, which is not a word. I looked it up. I didn't think it was a
And
word, but then I looked it up and I was right.
and then the school principal didn't correct her either.
No. Mm-mm. No, no.
What ISD are they working for? Because I'm
Um,
concerned.
so now we see Amy and Johnny are going horseback riding. Chelsea and Jimmy are in some sort of go-kart four-wheeling situation, and then they
Mhm,
swim in one of the cenotes. And then AD and Clay are in a Jeep and they talk about, red light kisses. And then we
mhm.
see Laura and Jeremy go have a little picnic on a pier. By the way, her hair, I was like, did she do that to her own hair? She's got
She
talent.
did was it the bubble braids
Yeah,
that she had? Look, when you've got hair that long, and I'm willing to bet when she was younger, it was even longer, she knows how to do everything with hair,
I couldn't
at
believe
least her
that.
hair.
I literally am always watching stuff on YouTube just to figure out how to like braid one piece of my hair. Like
Yeah, I get it.
I wish I
I'm
knew
that girl
how,
too.
but
I don't know how to do hair at all.
I was looking at that. I was like, wow, she's
Yeah.
she's committed. So I really was thinking about her hair last night as I was going to sleep, thinking like, I wonder if I could do that with my hair.
She has good hair. Do it.
No, my hair's not thick enough for that.
Here we go again.
I'd have to get little styrofoam balls and, like, put in the middle
We're
of
gonna have to
each
just get
bubble.
you some extensions.
Can't do that either.
Just wait till I come there.
Oh god,
I'm gonna
okay.
get you all the way together.
Oh lord. Okay, so they have a little picnic. So he says, so she tells us that after the party last night, when they had that fight and
Mhm.
he stormed off, that he just iced her out and wouldn't talk to her when she got back to the room and he slept on the couch.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
It
So it's
was
just like,
mean that, like, they should have laughed it off.
right. But
That was a red flag.
it's also interesting too that we're trying to act like this is the first time they've talked about it. And what are they, like, at breakfast or something? Because he goes, let's talk about last night. So, I mean, they were
Yeah.
together I think they've already talked through what they're going to say. So, they said, and she says, I just wanted to tell you that last night was very triggering for me because of past relationships. In the past, I've had exes that have done stuff that, like, embarrassed me like that. And it's like, I told you something in confidence and I didn't think you
Yeah.
would repeat it. I certainly
Right.
didn't mean that you were going to bean dip her or whatever.
Right.
And he goes, I made a complete ass of myself. I'm
Mhm.
really mad at myself. I'm so embarrassed. You didn't deserve the silent treatment when you got home. So I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry I acted that way. Like, I'm completely beating myself up and I'm not
Mhm.
perfect and I need to handle shit better. And she agrees and they talk and they're very happy with how they communicated it and they think they're the best couple.
Okay, I don't know how. I don't know what they saw with the other couples that we didn't see with our eyes, but they
Yeah.
most definitely are not the type. He just stopped talking to you for a whole night and slept in another room over
Because
some
he was
bullshit.
embarrassed, not because of her, because he was
Yeah.
embarrassed.
And,
Yeah.
and when you're embarrassed, you joke about it and laugh about it, and then you move on. Not all of this that he did.
Well,
No.
he was embarrassed for himself, so yeah.
Well, we wouldn't have been talking the next day if he had slept in a living room like that
Yeah.
and iced me out for no reason. Well, I guess it's gonna be like a whole 24 hours because I'm not talking to you now. That
Yeah.
was silly of him.
You can come in here and talk to me while I work on this hair. It's gonna take some time.
Right? Hold my brush.
So, now we see Amy and Johnny again, and they get off their horses, and they have a nice conversation, and he says he likes her hair because it's all, like, natural and curly, and
Mhm.
they talk about how it's gonna be different when they live together. The only thing I could focus on is her eyeliner. It's like she is
Yeah.
so committed to that winged on the out and the inside. She wings it on the inside too.
Yeah, so she doesn't do like how we do eyeliner, even
Yeah.
if we were doing a wing. She's doing that new shit that the young kids do now, where it's almost like an angel wing in a way. I don't know
Yeah.
if you've noticed.
Well,
Yeah.
normally when you see a wing, it's like a thick line across the top
Yes.
and then it wings out. This is just
Yes.
like a line that goes out
Yes.
of the side and then down into towards the nose.
Yeah. It's the new we're too old to do
Okay.
that look.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think.
for
I think
sure.
people will look at us oddly if we did that. Like, what the fuck are these old women doing? Like, but
Yeah.
that's some shit Skylar would do. Like, she's done it.
Yeah, I guess my daughter would do that too. Yes, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
Now I don't know
So
what it's called, but
so he, they'll, how will it be when we live together? And that's the conversation. And they seem totally fine.
mhm.
Now we go to Brittany and Kenneth, who are having a very, very weird, awkward, silent boat ride. And maybe this is where it comes from. Silence is, what does it say?
That too.
Silence speaks volumes because
That's too.
very, very, she's trying to talk and he's just like staring. And then she
She
says, I'm so glad you got to see the ocean. And he says,
yeah,
yeah. But then later he says he's swam with dolphins or something. So it's not
because
like
they
he's
don't
never
know
seen,
shit about one another.
it's not like he's never seen the ocean.
She is boring to him. And she's boring to me as well.
Well, she's sweet.
No, she's very sweet, but I
Yeah.
find her to be boring. Like, I don't think she has any crazy in there at all. And you
Mm,
have to have a little bit of crazy. I
that's
think
right.
she will probably be a great mom. She'll be great to a husband that does not require a lot of anything
Mm,
other than a mate and someone to cook and take
mhm.
care of the kids, and they'll stay married forever. But that is not Kenneth at all.
Yeah. But what do we know about Kenneth? Nothing.
Well, I know how he looks when he's talking to other people and he's smiling and he's laughing.
It's
All of
true.
the things that he's not doing with her. Like, he looks like he would actually drop $100 to the captain and say, create turbulence. So we have to turn around and go back to land.
You're
He
right.
didn't get excited until he saw the fucking dolphins.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
He's just not into her.
So they have a conversation. So they're on the front of the boat now, and they have a conversation about physical touch. And he's like, "Yeah, I
Mhm.
like it." And she goes, "Well, I'm just always touching. So that's how I am. Like that's how I show love. Like I'm always going to have my hand on you and stuff." He goes,
Mhm.
"Okay, well, I didn't know that. Like I like that." And she goes, "I mean, you could touch me more." And he goes, "Okay." And she goes, "So how do you feel about like what I just said?" He goes, "Well, I just think it's information, like I'm learning about you." And all I could keep looking at here was her boobs because she had the most perfect boobs I've ever seen in my life.
And you would think once she said, "You could touch me more," he would have reached over and grabbed them titties.
Oh,
But he
now
didn't.
Keisha, no, these are biblical
No.
people.
He
He did
did get
kind
a
of
little
rub her
touchy
arm a little
feely.
bit. He rubbed her arm a little bit.
Like, he rubbed her arm a little bit, like he had just broken up a middle school fight at his school, and one of the kids needed a little reassurance that they were okay, he wasn't gonna call their mom.
Okay, yeah. I was just
There's no
thinking, like,
chemistry.
you're right. And I think she's trying to make it happen. Like
She is.
yeah.
She's giving it her all.
And she was like, like, I was thinking, like, maybe you're not super into me because you're not really affectionate. And he goes, "Oh, that's wild. Cause I've always been told like I'm over affectionate." And she goes, "Really?" She goes, "Wow. Well, I don't see that." So in other relationships, women have said to him, like, "Oh my gosh, you're too touchy. Stop."
Yeah, we haven't seen that.
And here he's gone the opposite direction. So that means he's not into her.
No,
He's not into her. He's
he's
just
just
not.
not.
He's not. So now we see a very weird scene, but this is AD and Clay. So
Mhm.
they're looking at the ocean, they've ordered some food. So she
Yes.
starts saying, like, "I can't wait to show you around Boston." And then they talk about what will happen when they get back to Charlotte. And then he's like super
Mhm.
impressed that she was a Patriots cheerleader during 2 Super Bowls. And he's like, "Oh, wow,
Mhm.
like you were there, with some of these big players." Then they talk about what'll happen when they meet the families. They think everything's gonna be great. The food
Right.
comes, they do cheers with tequila.
Mhm.
They kind of make goo goo eyes at each other. It's cute.
Mhm.
But then he gets his soup and he gets down with that soup. Like it's the happiest moment on
He
the trip.
he wanted to snatch the ring off of AD's finger and give it to the soup because he was making love to that soup, okay? He was in he made me say, "God damn, can you can some and bring it back to the States?
Oh,
Because I want to taste it."
what is in that soup?
And deliciousness, apparently.
She kept saying, "Oh, I'm just so glad you're enjoying it." Because he was like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, oh, yeah." She was like, "I'm just so glad that you." She kept giving him the look. It was hilarious.
It was very funny, and he didn't care. It was like she wasn't even
No,
there.
she
It
was
was
like,
just
"I'm
him and the
just
soup.
trying to eat half this quesadilla." So
Yeah.
um, they eat. And after they eat, he says, "I'm just going to observe this beautiful water." And she's like, "Yeah." And then all of a sudden he starts acting like a busboy. He's like stacking all the plates, scraping the food, and you just see her. They're trying to make this like something, right? Because they're showing her eyes go back and forth and back and forth. But she never says anything to him like, "You feel better?" Like, I think
Be
it's a good sign that
be
he's neat.
I think the crazy is starting to crack a little bit with him because his eyes are just a little bit more crazed. He either used to work at a restaurant because that is truly how you break down, like
Yes,
you really break
totally.
it down.
Yeah,
Or he's just a really nice guy because my mom is like that. She's like, "Here, let's put all of our stuff together to make it easier for
for the
the
waiter.
waiter
Yeah,
or the waitress." Yeah.
yeah.
But then he just did it and just sat back and looked at the ocean. He's crumbling. Okay?
I know you
He's
have
crumbling.
you have theories about his split personality, and you
I
have said it here on this podcast. Yes.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
seen it a little bit. I think there's more to be seen.
Yeah. So then he's really quiet. He's just staring at the
Mhm.
ocean. And she says, "So you're like, what are you thinking about?" Which, by the way, guys love that. They love
Yeah,
that. They
yeah.
love that. So she says, "What are you thinking about?" And he goes, I don't want to let you down. at the end of all this, I don't wanna let you down, and, you know, this trajectory that we're on, like, we're good, but I'm just thinking, like, we have this big date coming up, like, it's a lot coming at me, and he just sort of blah, 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 kind of word vomits. He does this again later,
Mhm.
just sort of word vomits, and
Yeah.
she just goes and then he stops and is looking at the water, and she goes, "What?" She goes, "What just happened?" And she says, all of a sudden, like, out of nowhere, like, "What just happened?" Like, and he
Yeah.
goes, "Oh, you know, everything's great. Like, everything's fine. Like, I really want this to work, and I want the marriage thing and everything." And of course, like, I'm a child of divorce and how, you know, a divorce will tear up the household
Mhm.
and everything. Like, I 100% want to have a wife and I 100% see us together at the end of this thing, but, you know, I don't know. So anyway, I just want to believe.
I
What?
don't know if weed is legalized in the DR, but if it is, he most definitely needs a joint. Okay? He's
He
losing
just
it.
he spins up and just
Yes.
is talking so much. He does this later as well, where there
Uh-huh.
was no way for me even to take notes on everything he said. He
I
talks for 5
was
minutes solid without a break.
and I couldn't stop laughing for 5 minutes solid without a break because it was so funny. He just kept going on and on and on. Look, I'm telling you, this boy is crumbling right before our eyes. Okay.
He's
And I
stressed.
think now that AD has got her lashes fixed, she can
Uh-huh.
see it too.
Yeah, when she has just no lashes on, she's just natural face, it
Yeah.
really does look better.
Anything was better than what she had.
Yeah, the lashes are too much. So,
Yeah.
now we get a lot of quick shots of everybody kinda getting ready because they're gonna head to the beach for a meetup. So, they
Mhm.
go to the beach, and Chelsea and Laura and AD all say that they've had sex, and Chelsea does
Right.
like a ride 'em cowboy with her hat. No, girl, stop. Nobody needs to see that.
Because I don't believe that Jimmy is doing anything to warrant all that.
She's
I could be
giving and
wrong.
giving and taking and giving and taking.
Yes.
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 Mhm. Mhm.
um, Laura kind of has a conversation with Johnny at the bar. And basically, he says that he and Amy are not having sex because she's not on birth control and he's just not ready right now. And he says to Laura, he goes, I mean, I literally always thought every woman was on birth control.
I think most guys do think that.
I think so too. I think
Yeah.
most guys do think that. And I think that he comes across like what a chauvinistic pig to think that it's always the girl's responsibility.
You
But I do think at that age, you just assume the woman is.
assume. Yeah, and he's super paranoid about having a kid right now.
Super paranoid.
Because to me, I'm just like, use a condom.
I
But
mean,
I think
there
he's too
are ways
afraid to do
around it.
that.
He's afraid.
Yeah, not for him. He's paranoid
And
about it.
Laura goes, "Yeah, being on birth control is kind of a big thing that women go through. It's dumping hormones in your body, it's changing up your chemical makeup, and not everybody can do it for lots of reasons." He goes,
Right.
"Yeah, like my whole life, every girl I've ever dated was just on it. And yeah, they would talk about it and stuff, but like, what did I give a shit? Because I was able to have sex." So
Right.
this was an interesting conversation between the two of them, I thought.
It was.
Because
Yeah.
Laura's like, okay. So then AD and Jeremy sit down and talk, and he was like, "I just have to tell you, like, I'm so sorry about that whole bean dip thing. Like, I'm so embarrassed. Like, I almost left over it, like, for sure." She was like, "Oh
That
my
is
God."
insane.
She was like, "It's not that deep. Like, okay,
It wasn't.
I accept your apology." And he goes, "I'm just so embarrassed by the way I acted." And she's like, "All right, just chill out. It's fine. I'm not offended. We're good. Like, don't worry about it." And she's very nice to him about it.
I don't think there was a reason to even bring it back up.
I don't either. I don't
Everyone
either.
was over it.
And he says, you know, something interesting about Clay, like, how's it going? She goes, well, we're just getting to know each other and working things out or whatever. And he goes, one thing to know about Clay, I'll just tell you this, like, from my observation is he gets super quiet and like goes into a
Mhm.
zone. Like, I could remember we'd be lined up before we'd go in the pods and he would just be off somewhere else. And we'd be like, where are you, Clay? And he just gets really deep in his thoughts. And we'd be like,
Mhm.
is it us? And she's like, I cannot tell you how much this means to me because
Right.
I've really been struggling with this. And like, it's not just me. And he goes, oh, no, no, no. I thought it was really interesting that Jeremy brought that up to her. I don't know if that was production said, like, maybe you should tell her this, or if
Right.
he just was like, let me relate with you. Let me tell you something weird about Clay, you know?
I think that's how Clay really is.
Yeah. He's that
Yeah,
way to
yeah, he
guys
was
and
just telling
girls.
it yeah, like, I think he's super hyped up one minute, and then the next minute, he's staring off at the water.
Yeah. I think you're right. So now Jeramy and Amy talk. And she's talking about, she
Mhm.
loves Johnny so much, but she's worried because she's never lived with a guy before. And she worries a lot about her dad meeting him because he was not at all supportive of this process, this experiment. He did not understand what it was. So might be intense when he meets Johnny.
Right.
And Jeremy says, I was talking to two girls in there, but with Laura, like we had fun, but we also had serious conversations. And I knew like if something happened, like she could put me in my place, like, right? Like
Mhm.
she's that girl. And so that's what I needed. And, with Sarah Ann, it never moved past fun conversation. It was always just fun. So I don't know, like if we ever had a conflict, how we would deal with it because we never had a serious conversation.
Mhm.
Um, and he says, but I do still want to meet her because I felt like we didn't have any like closure. It was just sort of like
Yeah.
abrupt, and I think we could be,
No.
and I think we could be friends.
Like, he's stupid. Like, why would he tell her that?
And
Why would he say that to anyone?
Amy looks over at him and goes, okay, I'm just gonna like she puts her
Yeah.
hand up like I don't want to hear any of this. And then she does like the zip the lip. She goes, I'm just gonna and I don't know if she
Yeah.
means like I'm not making any comments on what you're saying, or she means like I'm not gonna tell Laura that you said that. But she's
I
just
think
like,
it was, "I'm
okay.
not gonna make a comment," but she was feeling some type of way, most definitely.
She was like, you better shut the fuck up, you know?
'Cause,
Yeah.
that was stupid to say, like, okay, think that, but why
Yeah.
would you say that to anyone?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
bad.
Imagine
I
how
don't
Jimmy
think he's the
feels.
marrying type. I don't think he's
Yeah.
the marrying type at all. I really don't.
So Johnny and Chelsea are having a drink outside on their balcony, and they're just everything's so perfect and so great. And she's like, did they have a great week? And she was like, ups and downs. He goes, no, all ups, just one down. I don't know. I'm so sorry. I said Johnny. I meant to say Jimmy. I don't know who Jimmy is kidding. He's like, no, it was all up. Everything was up, no downs. Everything's been perfect. And she's just like, okay. I mean,
When you're
who's
when
he
you're
lying
taking
to?
when you're taking hostage, you tend to agree with the person who is holding you hostage.
Stockholm syndrome. He's agreeing with his captor.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Yeah,
Um,
he is.
and then
I
she
feel
goes.
bad for him.
Then of course she goes into what we've seen. Okay, so what was your favorite part? What do you like the most about me? Do you still love me? And he goes, my favorite part was today, like that food on the beach. I was so hungry that there was taquitos, and so I was like trying to eat them before anybody else saw them. So I ate like five taquitos, and she goes, babe, that's a lot of taquitos.
She's like, "They were huge."
And he goes, yeah, I was so excited. I didn't want anybody else to have them. So I bit the shit out of my lip like I was spitting blood. She's like, what? What is
He
wrong with
was
you?
he was going ham on those taquitos out
Eh,
there.
well, when I watched it the second time, Keisha, I did notice they showed him twice at that buffet. Like,
Yeah.
now, if you're to believe this Nick guy that I listened to on that other podcast from season
Mhm.
2, they don't give him a lot of food.
Oh,
So
well, his
maybe he
ass
was
is
so
hungry.
he was
Yeah.
hungry.
It's just really and there's
He was
nothing
so
I
hungry.
love watching a person eat and enjoying their food.
Oh, well, we've seen it twice on this episode because
Yeah, I'm like,
Lord,
"Okay, alright." Between him and, Clay,
Clay, oh my
just
God.
yeah,
I
they
will
were
say
getting
too,
down.
when I went to lunch with my friend today, we went to Rosa Mexicano, a Mexican place, and I
Mhm.
saw taquitos. I was like, "Should I get a taquito?" Because
Yeah, I would've totally gotten the taquitos.
I had it on the mind. I had it on the
I would've
mind.
like, "Can do you guys carry Jimmy taquitos? The ones that he was eating on Love Is Blind,
Will it be good
perhaps?"
enough to make me bite a hole into my own lip?
I mean, if you're gonna eat a taqui if look, those taquitos I've eaten food that was so good that I've bitten my tongue before.
Yeah, because you're just trying to get it in. Trying to
Yeah,
get
you just like, "God damn,
this is
I'm
so
ready to
good.
risk it all for this." Like, Jesus, who made this?
Risk it all.
Angels? I'll risk it all. I'm like, "Fuck a man, give me more of that food."
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
I love those moments.
Then he says his favorite part. His least favorite part was biting his lip. His favorite
Right.
part, Jimmy's a simple person, okay?
He really is.
His
Yeah,
favorite part was the taquitos, but then until it became his not his favorite part. But he loved being on the go-karts with her. And she goes,
yeah.
what? He goes, yeah, I just like whipping you around in that car. That was really fun. She goes, my favorite part is this morning because you're extra sweet to me this morning. And he goes, well, I'm sweet every morning. And she goes, it just made me so happy. Baby voice. And she goes, um, are you nervous about anything about going home? He goes, no, no issues. Everything is perfect. I was like, this guy can't quit lying to himself and to America. Like, what is wrong with him?
I don't know. I don't know if he wants to continue being on the episodes because he gets more money.
Maybe.
I don't know if he's afraid that this girl will stalk him until the end of times.
He
I
wants to
don't
look good on
know.
television.
He does. Yeah, it's a lot of things, but what it is not is him being into Chelsea. It is not that at all, because he's not.
He's not as happy. No one is as happy as this guy. I mean, maybe your husband. He's as happy with you as these people are. But even that, this is too much. It's too much. It's too
It could be
much.
a lot. Yeah.
It's too much.
Yeah.
You guys know there's nothing more I love than a comfortable bra, for real. Today's sponsor, Honeylove, has revolutionized the bra game. We all know how I feel about this, right? I believe during the pandemic, I coined the phrase sleeping bra and introduced a lot of you to the idea of the sleeping bra. Well, Honeylove is the best of both worlds. It's next level comfort. You'll forget you're wearing, and yes, you can sleep in it. You'll immediately feel and see the difference. It's so next level, you will forget you're wearing it. Now, we all know that feeling when you get home from a long day and immediately want to take your bra off. Sometimes you might just even take it off in the car. But with Honeylove, you're never going to experience that again. I have their best-selling crossover bra. It gives you all the support of a traditional bra without using any underwires. And Honeylove's bras are designed with this back smoothing fabric that's kind of this mesh in the front, and this back smoothing fabric in the back prevents that bra bulge, because there's nothing worse than a back fat spurting out of your bra. So I'm glad that Honeylove has fixed that for me. It'll fix it for you too. I would also highly recommend their V-bra. It's got the support of a traditional bra, but it's not shelf-like. It won't give you that uniboob situation. Look, Honeylove has more than bras. They've got incredibly comfortable shapewear. I got some of these briefs that are going to help me out on my trip to LA. They've got tanks, they've got leggings, you know I love a legging, and these provide you with everyday support and comfortable, guys, comfortable. So treat yourself to the best bras on the market and save 20% off at honeylove.com/pinkshade. You're going to use our exclusive link, and that's how you're going to get the 20% off. You're going to go to honeylove.com/pinkshade. Again, use this link, honeylove.com, pink shade. And after you purchase, they're going to ask you, where did you hear about Honeylove? Please support our show and say, Pink Shade sent you. Treat yourself to Honeylove because you deserve it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now we see Amy and Johnny. They're floating around the pool because, as we know, it's their last night. And he says, so what's your biggest pet peeve of me so far? And she goes, I don't know. There's not like one thing you've done. He goes, oh, it's like a million things. And then, of course, he goes, guess what? Chicken butt. And she goes, okay, that's it. That's my pet peeve. You say that once a day.
Yeah, that would be a lot.
Guess what? Chicken butt is really only funny like once a year. It's when you really surprise somebody with it. It can be funny, but not every day.
No.
And
Hell
she goes,
no.
and she's like, we've only been together, 2 weeks or whatever it is. And she goes, I feel like it's years. Like, it's crazy that it feels like we've known each other for so long. And she says, in the past, I've probably overshared everything with my parents, and they were too involved in my relationships because she let them in. Like, she shared too much, and then they felt the need to be too involved. And I'm worried that my parents will try to get too involved. They're overprotective, and I understand that. But in the past, I've been too easily influenced. So I'm kind of going in this with like, not going to be overly influenced. And he goes, well, of course, but you want your siblings and your parents to approve, and you want their input, of course. So I get it. You talk to your family about your relationships. She goes, yeah, the problem is, after she just got done saying she's not going to let her parents influence her, she goes, but if I don't get my dad's blessing, I don't know if I can move forward.
Ooh, something else that was interesting about what she said?
What?
I don't know if you remember, but when they were in the pods, and she was telling him about if her brother would have to live with them. She said, if something were to happen to my dad, that I would be the next person. My brother would have to come live with me.
Because the brother lives with the dad. Yeah.
Well, in this episode, she mentions the mom and the dad. So I'm like, well, why wouldn't your brother go to your mom?
Right. Yeah. So we don't know. Because she talks a lot about her dad, and she just slightly mentions her mom.
Exactly. I was kind of
so obviously the
I
parents
assumed the mom was dead. I thought the mom was dead, because
you would assume a special needs adult is going to live with the mom.
Right.
The special needs adult lives with the dad.
And then when she said if something were to happen to my dad, my brother would have to come to me.
Right.
Well, why wouldn't he go to your mom?
Right. Right. I don't know. A lot of questions. Maybe we'll find
Lots.
out.
Yeah. You know
So,
what?
hmm, what?
Chicken butt.
Stop.
I had to do it by once a year.
That's it. Now you're done.
I'm done.
I'm going to do it later today.
I know you are. Who are you going
I
to do
am.
it to?
I'll do it to Dave.
I'm going to do it to James, and he's going to think that's the funniest shit that he's ever heard in his life. You know how he is. He's going to be, that's so cute. That's so funny.
Oh,
He's
he'll
going to
think
want
it's
me to do like,
and then he'll
he'll
post
think it's
about it. James loves to post about how much he loves Keisha.
He
Loves it.
is in a love bubble,
He
and
is.
he really is. I love you, babe. I know you're going to listen.
Yeah. Okay, we love you, James. So they're heading back to Charlotte. So Nick and Vanessa tell us that the couples are moving together and they get their devices back. Everyone will, blah, blah, blah. Will they
Mhm.
prove love is blind? And like, okay, head back to LA. We'll see you at the reunion because we don't need you
Okay,
anymore. Nick and
Mary
Vanessa.
Payne.
Yeah, that's it.
When
That's
this
all they do.
season is over,
Yep.
you and I are going to record. We're going to submit to Netflix that we can do this job. So
From
we're going
home.
to do
We can do it from home.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, and we'll look cute and everything and just let them know that we can do this for them. They do, because no one's watching this show because of Nick and Vanessa Lachey, right? Nick Lachey. Yeah. So why? I don't get it.
We don't know why they're there. We do not know why they're there. They come to the reunion, and at the last reunion, especially, Vanessa acts real cringe. She acts real cringe and tries to pressure everybody to have a baby.
Okay, so do they host the reunion?
Yes. They host the reunion.
Oh, I didn't know they hosted the reunions.
Yeah. They're executive producers, and maybe they're like, we will executive produce this show and give you money for the show if we can host it.
I didn't know they were the executive producers of the show. That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe they're just producers, but they have producing credit on the show. So will they prove love is blind? All right, that's a wrap on Nick and Vanessa. So Laura says she's excited to live with Jeramy, and she's like, she's not nervous or scared about the commitment, but if he's messy, then she'll have to say no at the altar. They talk in the kitchen about how OCD they both are. They're OCD neat freaks, and that's a good combo when two people are like that, because that's hard when one person's not.
So that used to be us, because I'm exceptionally messy.
Okay.
And James is not at all.
Okay.
But I'm so messy and I just don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
He just has come over to the dark side. He's still not messy, but he doesn't try to bother me about my messiness at all. He'll just pick up after me and stuff like that. So it can work between a person who's OCD, because James is very OCD, and a person who's messy. It can be done.
Okay. Well,
yeah. Not in this case, though. I think they need.
No, they need. Yeah. So he says things couldn't be better between he and Laura. Things could not be better. And he's never felt like this. He's loved people before, but he thinks maybe he was never truly in love, and he just loves her. Great. All right. Well, we'll see where we are at the end of episode 9, because it. So Brittany and Kenneth are unpacking, and he's like half listening to her because he's on his phone. And he tells us, and also when he talks about his phone, he smiles a lot. Real happy about his phone.
Before they left the DR, he was with Clay and AD, and they were all talking, and he was happy as hell. Like he was laughing, his face was changed and everything. It is Brittany.
Yeah. And he's talking about his phone and just breaks out into a big smile. It's like, I missed my device. I did. He's like, I had to check my email, make sure my school's still afloat and everything.
And he's on TikTok.
He's on OnlyFans. So, anyway, so she's walking around like, I'm gonna take the left drawer, and I don't know if we can stay in the bathroom, get together. It's so small. Do you like the left side or the right side? And she's totally nesting, and he's just on his phone. And then we hear
I would be too. We haven't been home for 2 weeks. I don't want to unpack. I want to sit down and see what I've been missing. Like, what's been going on in the world? Like, I would be him.
I love how he was like, yeah, I think we should have some chicken tonight. She goes, so we're going to order some chicken. He goes, oh, I was thinking you would cook. She was like, oh, okay. So I don't get to enjoy the first night in the new place. I was like, No, girl, this is what you told him. You wanted to be happy homemaker.
That's right. That and
That's what you
she
told
set
him.
herself up. So here
Yeah.
we go. Day one. Get to it. Get in that kitchen, girl.
Mm-mm. So then we hear some very sad music while he works on his phone and she puts clothes away and she stares at him mournfully like, "Oh, is this gonna be my life?" Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So now at Clay and AD's, they test out the couch to see if they can fit on it together to snuggle, and they say it's
Mhm.
good. And she says, "Yeah, I talked to my sister, I talked to my niece, I even talked to my other sister," which you're like, "What's the story there?" Because she was like,
And then she says, I talked to my mom.
I
So
talked to my mom."
what's
Yeah. When
I,
she
I need
said
I need more information.
when she's like, "I even talked to my other sister," he's like, "Really?" I was like, "Oh, something happened with that other sister."
Mm.
And she goes, "Everything went good. Everybody's excited. Yeah, it's really, they can't wait to meet you." And he goes, "Yeah, I talked to my mom. She's like super excited to meet you and my sister. Like, my sister, she was great. But my dad, my dad's like this, like macho Guyana. Did I say that right?
Guyanese from
Guyanese
Guyana. Yeah.
from Ghana. And my dad was like, "Oh, what's this?" He goes, "Ah, my dad, he's just like an old dog. He's probably going to flirt with you and everything." And then he talks nonstop. I should have timed it because it felt like 7 minutes. The whole time he's talking, she's going, "Yeah, mm-hmm, yeah, mm-hmm,
I couldn't
mm-hmm,
stop laughing.
yeah,
This has been
yeah, uh-huh, yeah." Like I don't know if she's trying to get him to quit talking by doing that because her responding, "Yeah, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, yeah, yeah," was awkward. But his
Yeah.
nonstop talking, she's just like, "Oh my." It's like he talks himself until he
Yes.
runs out of gas and then he's
Yeah.
quiet.
This is one of the funniest moments on so far on this season. I
He
could
start
not stop cackling. It was so fucking funny. And she's just her eyes are like getting bigger, then they'll get smaller. She's just like, he doesn't even take a breath.
No, he says he's so excited to share this experience with his friends and for her to meet his friends. And his friends can sense that he's changed, like from the one phone conversation. And then he goes into, the way I grew up with my dad being a regular cheater. And, my dad was a suave guy. He was good with women. And my mom and dad, it was crazy because they were like best friends. But my dad, unfortunately, was still a cheater. And my dad would sometimes like take me with him on some of these infidelity trips. But I never really told my mom that. Like I kept it inside, but she knew I went on trips with him. And he was such a great dad. So I don't want you to think that because he was a good father. He's always been really supportive of me and everything I wanted to do. But like you never saw my dad like stick with anybody. Like so he was with my mom for 25 years. But then since then they broke up, he's always had a girl. He's never been single. Like, you know what? Here's the thing. Like I've never seen a black relationship where the man is faithful. Like not just my dad, but like all black men, like even celebrities like Will Smith. So for like the concept of one girl, can I do it? Like I take this seriously. Like the marriage part of this is like super serious, but it's super unknown. And like I want to do therapy. Like I want to do couples therapy with you. And I love you, AD. I love you. I really do. And I want to get married. But like I'm fighting some demons. But I do want love and marriage, but I'm fighting it. What the actual hell is happening here? And then she just nods, is going, "Uh-huh, uh-huh." And
I
then that's the end of the episode, Keisha.
can't.
That was insane. And I didn't even realize how crazy it was. So I watched it the second time. I was like, he never stopped talking.
No, he did.
He did the same thing on the pier. When she goes, "What's
So
going on?" And he just goes. And then she's like, "What just happened? What just happened?"
so can you agree with me just even the tiniest bit that there's something going on up there?
What is it? It is like he presses the gas, goes to the floor until the car runs out of gas, and then he's done.
Yeah, and then he'll probably sit there in silence for like 30 minutes.
Yes.
Oh
Silence.
boy.
And then she's looking around like, who did we just have? Did I just get preached to? Because it was a one-sided, because she's trying to jump in. Yeah, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah.
She
Uh-huh.
can't.
Yeah. But she can't.
And
I
he
think
didn't
she's
hear her any of the times that she said, "Yeah, huh? Okay." He didn't hear anything. Nothing. She could have left the room and he would have just kept talking.
it's like he was trying to hype himself up a little bit, like Jimmy's doing. Like Jimmy's like, everything's fine. It's sort of like, I'm gonna
Well,
talk
Jimmy's
myself
doing
in a
it out of
circle.
fear. He's
Yeah,
doing it
Clay
out of
is,
fear.
I don't know if Clay is like, oh my God, at the end of this, actually, I have to get married.
Yeah. I think he is starting to realize that he may have found this great chick that he really likes, but oh fuck, in 2 weeks I gotta marry her ass. He's
Right.
crumbling. He's
Yeah.
crumbling. Yeah, he really is.
I really, I don't know what's going to happen here because I
I don't
think
either.
he really wants to be that guy. He wants to be this guy that can get married. But like he said, he's never had a good example of it in his life.
I think
So,
he most definitely does need therapy
yes,
because
alone
he wants
first.
it. Yes, he does. Fuck a couples therapy. You need to go about 2 years straight alone. I think he does. I think he sees that getting married and having a family is the normal thing to do.
Mhm.
He's never seen it. He's never really seeked it. And now he is freaking out because he's like, I don't even know how to do this.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the eyes are wild. Watch the eyes. Watch
Yeah,
his
he
eyes. They
yes.
get wild. Yeah.
He's very intense with what he's saying, and it's like it's coming to him all in waves and he has to get it out
Yes.
of his mouth hole. It has to flow
Yes.
out. He
Yes,
cannot
it
keep it
does.
in.
What he did was damn near a rap. He really could have put that to some beats
Oh
and
my
that could have
god.
been a song.
Somebody do that for us.
And then the background is yeah, yeah, from AD.
Oh god, somebody that's good on TikTok. Put that in a rap form for us because
That was a rap.
that's so
Yeah.
smart, Keisha. If only one of
I
us
have
were good enough at TikTok, we could do it.
and you're to me, you're great at TikTok. I don't know how to tick nor talk.
Oh,
I don't know what I'm
but you
doing.
love to look at the TikTok.
Okay, so Friday.
Uh-huh.
Let me tell you about Friday.
Okay.
Friday, I felt like shit. It was one of those not leaving the bed days.
Yeah, yeah.
So one of my listeners said, hey, I don't know if you heard about this girl on TikTok, but I thought you may like it.
Okay.
I was like, I'll take this bait. When I tell you, I stayed in my bed watching this girl's full story, and it's called Who the Fuck Did I Marry? It is like in 50 parts, and she's talking about
What's the girl's name though? Because I think I just heard about this.
you probably did because it's everywhere. It's Risa Tisa. So it's
Yes,
Reesa.
I was just gonna ask you, is it like Tessa Messa? I knew it was something. Heather McDonald
Yes.
just talked about this on her podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
You
Okay.
so I watched it all day and all night. Like
Okay.
every time James came in to like bring me food or check on me, he's like, that's still going on. I'm like, yes. And I'm 100% invested. I couldn't stop.
Do you have to
I
watch all
couldn't.
50 parts? Because Heather said something like you can watch recaps of it, so you don't have to watch all 50 parts. No, me, I'll watch all 50. But if I don't want to, is there a way to? She said there's like recaps that you could watch of it.
There's people who have been recapping it and stuff like that.
Okay. Okay.
But I experienced it 100%
Okay. Okay.
every single episode
Okay.
because it is crazy. It
Yeah, her
is
husband is
so
like a serial killer or something. Or something.
oh,
Okay, don't
he's
tell
not
me.
even I'm not. He's not even a damn serial killer.
Okay, he's just a
Yeah,
bad
yeah.
guy.
He's something.
Okay.
He is something. It's
Okay.
good. I couldn't stop watching it. So if you have like no one else could just watch this in a day like I did,
Uh huh.
but most definitely take time out, spread it out, and you've got to listen to this girl's
And
story.
does she do the thing like part one, part two, and it says it so you
Yes,
could
he
follow it
does.
correctly? Because I hate when
Yes.
they don't do that. And it's like, follow for
Yeah.
part two, and then you go and you're like, it's not there, and oh, I want to know what happened. Did you get in the fight with the neighbor
Oh
or
no.
whatever?
No, because literally if you go to her comments, they're like, I can't wait till tomorrow night. This is like
Okay.
my new series. Can't wait to see what she drops. And she keeps it going. Like she doesn't really make you wait at all.
Okay. Is it over? Is she done?
Yes.
Okay, so I can watch
Yes.
from the beginning and okay.
She ended it she ended it on Friday. Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Ended
have
it
to
on
ask
Friday. Yeah.
my TikTok friend Meredith Lynch about that because she's like big in the, she's famous on TikTok. And so whenever I'll mention somebody to her, she's like, "Ooh, I need to check that out." Because those TikTok influencers, they like to know each other.
Well, she's good. Yeah, she's a good storyteller. Sometimes she's a little bit long-winded.
Okay.
And I'm like, girl, get to the good part. But she's a very, very good storyteller. It was very entertaining. I will say that.
I got wrapped in something on TikTok the other day. This girl told this like whole long story about being at the Grammys. Did you see this girl?
Mhm.
Being at the Grammys, she was like there with her friend who was like working backstage.
Okay.
And there was somebody backstage that was like awful. And she led you to believe it was either like Taylor Swift or Miley Cyrus or somebody big like that.
Okay.
But that while people were getting to their tables and getting set up and stuff beforehand, that there was
Uh-huh.
music playing and that her friend, who was like a backstage worker, put
Mhm.
on like one of her songs.
Okay.
And that Jay-Z like stood up and like did like danced. And she was like,
Oh.
no, she was like, I've never in my life, da, da, da. And then at the end, she says, something like, and by the way, this whole story was true except that part about Jay-Z. That would be crazy or something.
Oh.
So then you're like, okay, so none of it was true. So other people are like, she just said the whole thing was a lie. I was like, I only heard her say the Jay-Z thing was a lie. But I'm so
But why
dumb
would
that
she lie about the Jay-Z part?
I think the point is her friend did not play her music. So Jay-Z did not, you know what I mean? But
Okay.
people are like, and other people are commenting like, y'all are stupid. Her whole TikTok is this. Her whole TikTok is like hilarious stories. And then she'll be like, and that's a lie at the end. So I was like,
Uh,
oh, I was like, well, I just wasted 30 minutes of my life trying to get excited for this girl.
yeah, I've done some TikToks like that. And then I realized the person is totally crazy. Like there was this one girl, she was a hermaphrodite.
Okay.
And she said that she was pregnant, which
Okay.
I don't think hermaphrodites, I think they can't have kids.
Well, if they have a uterus, they can.
Okay, well, I was going along with this girl and her journey,
Uh-huh.
and she would say like the weirdest stuff, like, I'm only gonna eat this for my pregnancy, this, and that. And then she started showing her stomach as it was progressing, and you could clearly see it was not like she was not pregnant at all.
Oh
Everything
gosh.
on her TikTok is a joke.
Oh
But I was
no.
fully invested. I'm like, "You bitch, like,
Oh, come on
I
now.
believe in everything that you're goddamn saying." And
I,
then it got to like was able to get myself pregnant.
no, no,
It
no.
was crazy.
No, no, no. We're
It
not
was
a
wild.
we're not a seahorse. I think is it seahorses that can impregnate themselves? Hmm.
No, but I think a
Seahorse
stingray can.
seahorses, I do know
The
this. The
man carries
male
the
carries
eggs.
the
Yeah.
eggs. That's what
Yeah.
okay, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. But there are several animals that can reproduce with themselves. Like there's this big thing right now about this stingray that has been in her tank for however many years, and there's
Yes.
been no males, and she's pregnant. And I was telling it to James. He goes, "Well, they can get themselves pregnant."
I saw that too. This some TikToker was like, "I'm so invested in this
Yeah.
because the only other thing that's ever been in there is a shark. So is it
Yeah.
going to be a shark ray? Is it going to be a cross
Yeah.
species?" Yes.
We want to know who the baby daddy is. So we're like, we gotta wait and see till the baby is born to see who the baby daddy is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I
James was
saw
like,
that.
she impregnated herself.
There's a girl I follow on TikTok, EIC. And it stands
Okay.
for like Educational Institute, something. When she's just very like lives in like Huntsville, Alabama, and she's
Mhm.
hilarious. But she talks about true crime, but she
Okay.
does it like in a hilarious way. She's like, I can't believe this, y'all. This guy, he like murdered the hell out of this woman, and then she's just, I love her, and she follows me on TikTok. I don't know why, but
Uh-huh.
I'm real happy about it.
Well,
Yeah.
hopefully she listens to the show.
Maybe she just like likes reality TV, so some of the TikToks, about reality TV. But now I'm invested in getting Clay's monologue at the end of episode 7. Sorry, I'm made into a wrap.
Okay, so one more thing. I know we
Okay,
gotta go.
we got to go. What is it?
So for years and years and years, for as long as I've been podcasting,
Uh huh.
we have tried to think of a name for our listeners.
Okay.
And we have come up with some stupid shit. Okay.
Why not the loungers?
Okay, so one of my listeners like, "Oh, I'm a lounger. Is it cool that I say that we're loungers?" I'm like, "Well, what the fuck? All this time, me and James, the stupid asses, couldn't think of that. The loungers,
I literally just like it's so obvious it would be the loungers.
girl. We have thought of some like the astrology gang, The Libra line. We have thought of some stupid shit when it was right there the whole time.
The loungers. It's
Yeah.
so easy. Why didn't you just ask me?
I should have, but yeah, it was 2 weeks ago. This girl's like, can we be the loungers? I'm like,
yes.
Yeah, you just named us.
You guys, are you a lounger? If not, become one. Go listen to the Libra Lounge with Keisha. You too can be a lounger.
Yes,
you guys
can.
Here's something you may not know about Keisha and I. We have the same birthday.
Yes, we do.
Kim Kardashian.
Amber Rose. Who else?
Carrie Fisher.
There's someone else.
My friend Victor from high school.
It is a great day to be born.
Sure is.
Yes, it is.
My friend Ken from high school.
Yeah. And you know, we're on that cusp. The Libra
like,
Scorpio cusp.
Yeah. I don't know anything about Scorpio. I just know that I don't have any of that in me. I'm very Libra.
I do.
I know you do.
I have a lot of Scorpio in me, but I also have a lot of Libra. I like the perfect little 50-50.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
And I don't know anything else about moon, rising, born under what star. I don't know any of that. I just know I'm a Libra. I know what it means. That's all I know.
Yeah, Skylar's into all of that shit.
So is Anna,
of course, she made me go get my birth certificate. I need to know your exact time that you were born. I was like, okay.
My birth certificate does not say the time I was born.
Mine does. And I was telling her it was 4:30 and it was really 4:23. She's like, see, it makes a huge difference. This is why I needed this. I'm like, it wasn't even a 10-minute difference, but okay.
My mom's like, I think you were born at 8 a.m. Who knows? They knock you out. I mean, you know, those days they take you to the hospital, knock you out. You wake up, here's a baby.
Here's a baby.
Yeah. She didn't know. She was too busy like smoking, while she was giving birth, probably. She didn't know. She's got a whiskey sour and a cigarette. And she's just like living the life.
That's pretty damn funny right there. That's funny.
That's why I am the way I am. Okay, everybody. Like I said, you want to follow Keisha, the Libra Lounge with Keisha on Instagram. You can listen to her podcast wherever you get your podcast. And Pink Shade, of course, please follow on Instagram and TikTok at Pink Shade Pod. TikTok is at Pink Shade Podcast. And maybe I'll try to put together Clay's rap for you later today. Probably not. Don't get too excited about that. And if you want to hear all the episodes of the Love is Blind recap, you will be hearing that over on Pink Shade Prime. If you go to pinkshadepodcast.com, that'll show you where to click. You can join on Supercast. You can join on Patreon. It is on the $10 level. Keisha and I are also recapping Prison Brides over there on that $10 level. And on Prime, on the $5 level, currently just finished covering Smothered. We're covering The Single Life, and Meredith Constant and I will be covering Seeking Sister Wife. So, also covering 90 Day Fiance on Tuesday on the free feed. So that's what's going on. And speaking of Meredith Constant, she's coming on this week on the free feed to talk about Bravo on Thursday. So,
make sure to tell her I thought she was British.
I will tell Meredith Constant you thought she was British. She, in fact, lives in Colorado, but I will tell her, and she's from New Jersey, but I'll tell her that you thought she was British.
I just assumed she was. I just assumed she was British.
She just talks about the royals a lot. She's got lots of opinions about the royals. All right, Keisha, I will talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.